Okay, guys, we are going to get started, but just so you know, when I record these sessions, it doesn't show you guys at all. It just shows my video. So you don't need to worry about that. It doesn't show that you're here or your screen or anything like that. Okay, so we are going to get started. So first of all, welcome to this week's session of the Relaxing Fertility Yoga sponsored by the Fertility Partnership. My name is Julie, and welcome to all of you, and of course to anyone who hasn't been here before. If you haven't been here before, a couple important things to note. One, I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and they frequently make guest appearances. And unfortunately, one of my dogs, she seems to think that she is an alarm, and she will alert us if she thinks there's anyone at the door. So if you hear any barking at any point, see if you can just allow it to be part of your practice, to be part of the present moment, just other creatures living their lives the same as we do. There's still people coming in, so I'm just gonna keep clicking admit all. There we go. Okay. And the other important thing that I can never overemphasize is that I just always want to invite you to practice with kindness and compassion to your mind and to your body, just to yourself, however you perceive yourself as a physical, emotional, spiritual being. And it's interesting because I was teaching a class on Monday night on Insight Timer, which is an international meditation and yoga app. And after I finished teaching the class, it was a class all about compassion and practicing compassion on your mat. And after I finished teaching the class, someone wrote, "What if I don't feel like I deserve it?" And there's a lot that I can say about that. But I think the really important thing, probably one of the most important things I can say about that, is that whatever you practice, you get better at. So if you are practicing speaking kindly to yourself, if you're practicing listening to your body, if you're practicing gratitude and just appreciating anything and everything that you have in this life, you will get better at those things. So you'll get better at practicing gratitude. You'll get better at being nice to yourself. You'll get better at having a more compassionate outlook. And so my invitation to you is, if you are someone that struggles with worthiness, which so many of us do, it's been a part of my own history as well. But if you're someone that struggles with worthiness, maybe see this practice like an experiment, like a curiosity. What happens? What happens if I am nice to myself, or if I listen to my body, or if when I say something unkind in my mind, I change it so that it is kind instead? That's my invitation to you. One final thing to say. This is completely safe for those of you currently in the IVF process, unless your physician has told you otherwise about your own particular case and movement, but that's super rare. So they would have told you if that were the case. That being said, if you are a dude that is here, you are more than welcome. This is not all about the female body. We just keep it safe for anyone in that particular process. Okay, so everyone's welcome. So let's start. We're going to start with a centering and breathing exercise, and then we're going to move into some warm-up movements. And then from there, we are going to flow through some postures. And as always, I just really want to invite you to just enjoy this time in your body. Okay. So to begin, for that centering and breathing, you can either sit or lie down. If you have been at a laptop all day or working all day, sitting, you might want to lie down for this at this point, but it's really your call. So either sit or lie down, finding what feels comfortable for you. Okay. Excuse me. And then once you find either your seated or lying down position, take a few rolls of the shoulders, inhaling, rolling the shoulders up, and exhaling them down and back. And again, inhale, roll the shoulders up, and exhale them down and back. And one more. Just relax the shoulders down. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale and sigh or blow the air out of the mouth. Just do that a few times. Inhaling calm. Exhaling, sighing out, letting go of any stress or any tension. And then once you've sighed out a few times, just come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. And notice your breath. And notice where it lands in the body. Then once you've checked in with your breath, again, any external sounds, try to just let them be vibration, just part of the present. And let's actually use our sense of hearing to check in. So right now, I'd like you to notice any sounds external to the room in which you find yourself. So anything that you might be able to hear from outside or from another room. And it can be any type of sound, whether natural or mechanical. And see if you can just let that sound, again, become vibration, just become part of the present moment. So take a few moments here now. Just listen to anything you can hear. And then start to check in with any sounds within the room where you find yourself. So things like ticking clocks, or even if you've put music on, or if you have a snoring dog or cat. And just again, take a few moments and really drop into that sense of awareness of the sound within the room where you currently are. And then finally, I'd like you to check in with your body and notice whatever vibrations you can notice about your own body right now. So, can you get a sense of your heart pumping, a sense of your breath? Maybe you have a grumbling tummy. So, just take a few moments here and now. And again, just drop into an awareness of the vibrations of your own body right now. And finally, check in with your energetic vibration, however you might perceive that. What what energy are you vibrating right now? What mood are you in? And again, there's no need to judge anything. There's no need to label anything as good or bad. Just check in. What is your energetic vibration right now? And then take your awareness and bring it back to your breath. And start to deepen the breath through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. Exhale out the nose and feel the belly roll back towards the spine. So we inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And then deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest, expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. And if you can, come into an ujjayi or an ocean wave sounding breath by constricting in the back of your throat and the epiglottis. So it's as if you're inhaling and exhaling the word home through the nose to create that audible wave sound. But if you're not familiar with this, or if it just doesn't feel right to you yet, that's okay. Just stay with the dirga breath, that first one that we were practicing just now. Take about 3 more breaths here. And then start to mentally ready yourself for movement. And just in your own time and in your own way, draw some movement back into your body. Just letting yourself stretch, roll around, yawn, sigh, just do whatever would feel good to you in this moment. Ugh. And then I'd like you to start to bring yourself up to seated if you are currently lying down. Right. Okay. And then from here, once you find a seated position, just do the best you can to sit with your legs crossed. If you struggle here, so if your knees sort of jut up, or if you feel like you're being really squished and pulled back, you can always sit up onto something. So you can sit up onto a bolster, onto a cushion, onto a block. They don't have to be yoga props. So you can grab a cushion from your sofa or a pillow from your bed. Okay. And then let's take a big inhale, lift through the arms. Oh, and exhale down. And again. And one more. Inhale, lift the arms, and then interlace your fingers, turn up through the knuckles, stretch up towards the sky. And then turn back up through the knuckles. And just release your left hand down to your spine. We've done this one a bit lately because I've recently seemingly become obsessed with it, just because it's so good for the shoulder. So we're going to take the left hand down towards the spine, take the right hand, draw it to the elbow. Just start by sitting up tall. You're going to get that little tricep stretch on there, should feel nice. And then we're going to inhale. And then exhale, start to send your chest over towards the left side. So we're just leaning a little bit towards the right. You should feel a deep stretch in that left shoulder. And then inhale, take it back up through center. And then we are going to swap. So we take hold of that right elbow, just draw it across, stand or sit up tall. And then lean across. Should feel pretty good in that shoulder. And take it back up through center. Interlace your fingers now. Take them behind your head, and then you're going to sit up tall. So we inhale here. Exhale, tuck the chin in towards your chest. Let your elbows fall to the sides of your head. Inhale. Exhale, turn to peek under your right armpit, just a subtle turn of the head. Inhale back through center. And exhale over to the other side. Inhale through center. Lift the head, lift the heart, lift the arms. Unwind your fingers and then just gently bow down toward the earth in front of you. And roll your hands back towards your chest. And then we take it down. Take a few more. And then roll it all the way up towards seated. I want to give you guys something fun to do this week. It's a little transition, and it's a transition that we would usually do from a deeper twist, but we avoid deep twists in these classes, just on the possibility that it is harmful, although some of these things, again, they're only theoretical. So we're going to, rather than do a deep twist, we're going to take a movement where we're moving from what would have been a twist, but going straight into another pose instead. So we get a nice movement, a nice undulation of the spine without any of the contraindications of the twist. So I just want to show you this first, what this looks like. And I'm actually going to, I think, turn to my side, because otherwise my bum ends up in your face, which I'm uncomfortable with. So what you're going to do, and I'm going to talk you through on the side that I'm doing, so I don't confuse myself. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand and you're going to bring it down, so just slightly behind you, but then you're automatically going to start to turn into that right hip, pushing through the left foot. So you can see how that's going already. And then we're going to take the left hand down and we turn all the way out and we take it to a downward facing dog. So something fun. And then I'm going to show you that one more time and then we'll do it together a few times. So to come out of this, we're going to bend the right knee and we draw the right knee back down to the floor. And then we tuck it in and we curl it all the way back into that seated position. So just once more, let me show you. We take the right hand back, we start to automatically lean into that right side, and then we push through the left hip and we turn ourselves back, make any adjustments you need to make to come into that down dog. And then to come back out, we're going to bend that left knee, take it down to the ground, and then we just start to shoop. That's the verb, shoop it back into that seated position. Okay, so let's do that together now. So from here, starting to the right, you're going, and you can still face forward. I'm just doing it to the side again for camera reasons. So we have the legs crossed. We're going to take that right hand back, turn into the right side, and we twist ourselves around and we push it back into a downward facing dog. And we roll the shoulders back. Take your dog for a little walk, just bending one knee and then the other. Oh, we won't stay here too long. Hi, Luna. I think you want to be in down dog. All right, and then you're going to take that right knee down towards the center of your mat or your practice space, and then you turn yourself back around. Let's go to the other side. We'll do it twice to each side, but we're going to swap it over from side to side. So now we're going to take the left hand back, and then we're going to start to lean into that left side, push through your right foot, and then you're going to turn yourself up and around into that downward facing dog again. And just like before, take a very brief walk of your doggy. All right. And then from here, take your left knee, bring it down towards the center. You're going to turn yourself back around. And then once more to the right, take that right hand, bring it down, start to turn yourself around, and then you're going to take it back into that downward facing dog. And we spread the fingers nice and wide. We roll the shoulders back, squeezing under the armpits. Walk your feet a little wide right now, so wider than a shoulder distance stance, and push back into a nice wide angle downward dog there. All right. And then start to bend that right knee and taking it towards the middle of your mat. And you're going to, again, turn yourself back out into that seated position. Oh no, someone's gotten kicked out. Okay, there we go. Back in. All right. And then from here, last one, we take the left hand back. We start to turn ourselves up and around. We push it back into that downward facing dog there. Roll the shoulders back and then walk your feet a little bit wider so you're coming out into a wide angle downward facing dog. And just breathe into the backs of your legs, into your shoulders. Few more deep breaths here. Okay. And then from here, you're going to start to take that left knee, bring it down towards the middle of your mat, and then you're going to swing it back into that nice seated position. So again, just something fun to play with there. All right. Sorry guys, I was quickly trying to find an article, which I haven't found in those few seconds. There was an article I once read actually about the benefits of downward facing dog for fertility. And it was a decent sized thing. So I'm going to try to find that for next week so I can send it to you on the comments. Okay. But all right. So from here, your wrists, if you have sensitive wrists, you might have just felt that a little bit. So we're going to just quickly roll them out. So I want you to take the backs of your hands, bring them together out in front of you, roll the fingers in towards your chest and up to the sky. Okay, go the other way. All right. Go ahead and release. Now, from here, like we often do in these sessions, we are going to spend some time focusing on the hips, and there are many reasons for that. A lot of the poses that we do that involve the hips are good for uterine blood flow, for example. But also, some of you have heard me say this a few times before, the hips are this energetic junk drawer of the body. They store a lot of emotions in the same way we can store stress in the shoulders or in the neck or the upper back. The hip can store stress. It can store or the lungs typically is something we talk about is storing grief. So the body has a lot of mechanisms for dealing with the emotions. So when we start to open up the body, we start to release maybe some of the stored tension that also exists within it. So again, both physical and emotional is good to open up the hips. So what we are going to do here is we're going to take the legs and pinwheel them. It doesn't matter in which direction you're pinwheeling the legs to start. And we're going to do a few movements that some of you are familiar with, and then we're going to hold a few longer stretches. So the first thing I want you to do is just lean back into your hands, and you find that pinwheel position. You might already be feeling a nice stretch there. And then you're going to windscreen your legs over. So we go one and then the other, and we're rolling over the edges of the feet here. We're not picking the feet up and sort of slapping them around, okay? So just take a few. I wish you could see the expression on my cat's face right now. It's a very cat-like expression of what are you humans up to? All right. And then when next you take your leg so that the left leg is coming out front, I want you to adjust yourself so that you can sit up as best as you can here. It's okay if you feel a little bit drawn. This can be difficult, just depending on how open the hips are. Okay, so we are going to take the left hand, rest it on the left knee. Take the right hand, bring it into your hip crease on that right side. And super simple. I just want you to take the hip forward and back. That's it, forward and back. A few more. Okay. And then let that buttock come down as best you can. And then I want you to take your fingertips either side of your left knee. And then you're going to roll your shoulders back and open up through your chest. So it's like the start of a pigeon pose, but there's different things happening in the legs. And then I want you to walk yourself forward into the dog in my case. And if you can, you're going to come down onto your forearms. I'm going to move the microphone. Sorry. So if you can, you're going to come down onto your forearms. And we're just over that front knee here. Then you might stack your fists, not on the dog, but on the ground, and take your forehead down onto stacked fists if your body can stretch that far. If not, stay up on your forearms or up on your hands. And if you're able, you might take the head all the way down to the ground, forehead down, but that can be pretty intense coming over the knee like that. And then I just want you to take a few very deep breaths here. And then inhale, start to lift your head, lift your heart. And walk yourself all the way back up. Stay here in this pinwheel position. And then rather than going over that knee, you're now going to face towards the shin there. So towards the foot and the shin. And then I want you to roll your shoulders back, start to walk yourself a little bit forward. And you're going to feel this in a different part of the hip. Now, if you get pain in your knee, I want you to take it back to a point where you no longer get pain in the knee, okay? Because if you're getting pain in your knee, it's because your knee is overcompensating for your hip, and that is not a good thing. That is how we can end up with injuries. And so we walk it forward, and maybe we stack the fists and take the forehead down onto stacked fists, or stack the palms, forehead down, or forehead all the way to the earth and arms out. But again, I want you to listen to your body, listen to that knee, do what is right for you. Am I on your tail? And start to lift the head, lift the heart. And then we're going to swap it to the other side, but it's okay to spin and pick up your feet on this, okay? Okay, hold on. He wants to be with my partner. Hold on. All right, so now we've got that left leg around the back, right leg around the front. We're going to take the left hand into the left hip crease. And then I just want you to take a few of those forward and back movements. Hold on, just a few minutes. Okay. And then when next you take it back, I want you to draw your hands to your fingertips to the outside of that right knee. And we're going to roll the shoulders back and we open up through the chest. And we first find that very pigeon-like position. And then start to take it down over that knee, either stacking your fists or stacking your palms or taking your forehead all the way down, really feeling that stretch. And I just want you to breathe there for about 4 to 5 more breaths. All right, and then start to lift the head, lift the heart. Sorry, guys. And I want you to start to walk yourself back up. And then you're going to, again, face in front, face that shin, face that foot. And then start to, again, walk yourself forward in front of that leg. And maybe stack your fists or stack your palms. Deep breaths. Take another breath here. And start to mentally, well, you don't even need to mentally ready yourself from a movement, just start to bring yourself up. And then you're just going to, however you can, lean yourself back and then bring the soles of the feet out together in front of you. And then once you're there, just ground down through your sits bones, interlace your fingers over your toes. And then I want you to roll your shoulders back, open up through the chest, tractioning up through your spine. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hips and come down with a flat back, particularly if you have back sensitivities. And if it feels okay to you and it feels okay to your knees, you can start to round down, taking the head down. And inhale, lift the head, lift the heart, and start to bring yourself all the way up, but keep your feet together. Now, from here, I want you to start to come down onto your forearms, bringing your elbows so that they're coming underneath your shoulders. And you should really start to feel that into your hips there. Now, again, these types of hip openers, they're believed to be quite beneficial when we're talking about things like fertility and IVF. However, something like this to hold for a really long time can be quite uncomfortable, right? There are comfortable modifications, which I've shown you in the past, not that we're going to do right now, but if you're thinking that you want a relaxing yoga pose that also has potential IVF benefits, one of the things that you can do is you can come to a wall and place your feet on the wall like so. And you can either be much closer to the wall or you can be slightly further back. It just depends on what feels good to you. Likewise, if you don't want to go up that high, you can place your feet on a pillow underneath here, or a few pillows or a few cushions. That can be super, super comfortable. Okay, so you would lie down for that and you would have the legs up and on a cushion. And again, it's really, really comfortable when you are using the prop to help support your body. Okay, let's start to draw the legs up. Take your arms down to the sides of your body. And take a moment just to sigh out. All right. And then I'd like you to start to walk your feet up towards your bottom, just as close as is comfortable. There's no need to force it in any way, but just walk your heels up as close as is comfortable. Bring your feet to a hip distance stance so that there is a gap between your feet that will help support your lower back when we come up into bridge. And then draw your arms down to the sides of your torso and start to press through your feet. So you're really feeling all three corners of each foot. You're feeling the ball, the side, the heel of each foot. And then you're going to inhale, lift the hips, lift the pelvis, squeeze the legs, not together, because if you squeeze the legs together, your hips are going to drop down. So you're just squeezing and lifting up here. And then we're going to interlace the fingers, drawing the palms toward each other, but underneath the body. And then we walk the shoulders in. So we can lean into one shoulder and then into the other. And then we're going to, again, squeeze and lift. So we're coming up into bridge pose, into Setu Bandhasana, which has all kinds of benefits. So Setu Bandhasana is good for your adrenal glands, good for your kidneys, good for your thyroid gland. Not only is it a chest opener, a back bend, a leg strengthener, but it has all these internal organ benefits and gland benefits as well. All right. So if you would like to play a little bit tonight, I'd like you to roll out into the edges of your feet, letting your bottom drop down a little bit, but we're pushing into the outside edges of the feet. So we're butterflying the legs. We're inhaling there, and we're not just falling down. Okay, so right now I'm falling down. It doesn't feel nice on my fingers. We're still, again, pushing into the outside edges of the feet. We're going to inhale. And then exhale, blow the air out of the mouth and drive your legs back up into bridge. So we inhale. A few more. You're like, wait, this is not relaxing. No, this is strong. This is a lower back strengthener as well as a hip opener. The thing is, when we work the body, we relax so much afterward as well. We get all those lovely endorphins from the exercise. And again, we get that opening. And it's always good to strengthen the lower back. Let's go 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up. Oh, and then exhale. Take your back down to the earth. Draw your knees in towards your chest and hug your legs. Take a moment just to sigh out there. And if you want to rock and roll around a little, like a little egg on a countertop, you can do that. Take another breath here. And then interlace your fingers over your right shin, flexing your right foot. Lift your left leg up to the sky, flex that foot. Inhale. Exhale, draw your left leg down to the ground. Oh, should feel that in that left hip flexor. Breathe. All right. And then unwind the fingers and take the sole of your right foot down to the ground. Then just walk your right foot towards your left thigh and then turn that right knee out to the side so it's coming down to the floor. Now, if when it comes down, if you feel like you're sort of really being brought over in this uncomfortable way, or that right knee is up and is just super uncomfortable, I want you to grab a couch cushion or a pillow and I want you to pop up that right knee, okay? Otherwise you let that knee come to the ground. And then we're going to inhale, lift the arms up, interlace your fingers, point your index fingers and your thumbs. Exhale, draw the arms down, take a nice long stretch. And And then exhale, slide and walk your shoulders a little bit towards the right as well. So we're coming into a leaning supine tree pose. And then inhale, slide and walk back to center. Start to lift that right leg up. Just bend that right knee and place the foot on the floor. And then I want you to bend the left knee into the chest. Make any adjustments you might need to make to your lower back. And then we're going to interlace the fingers over the left shin, flex that foot. Take your right leg up into the sky, flex that foot. Ooh, feeling that stretch in the back of the leg. And then exhale. Take that right leg all the way down. Take your foot down to left foot down to the ground. Interlace your fingers, point your index fingers and your thumbs up to the sky. Now draw your arms down to the sides of your head and then tip that left knee out to the side. Okay, inhale, take a nice long stretch. And then exhale, slide and walk over towards the left side. So you're opening up through the right side of the body there. Okay, slide and walk back to center. Start to turn that left leg up, bend up your right knee, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. Take your hands up one more time to your knees and just cradle your legs. Take a moment just to sigh it out. And then either draw your feet down to the ground. If you have lower back sensitivities, just keep the knees bent there, or extend your legs all the way out, just letting them flop and splay. Once you're there, just relax your shoulders, relax your arms. Close your eyes. And take a few last deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And once you've sighed out a few times, just let your natural breath take over again. Feel your eyelids become heavy over your eyes. And just feel as if your body is melting down. Taking this moment to nourish as you relax. And as you relax here, I'd like you to imagine beautiful blue light full of healing energy just haloing above the head. And just imagine that light growing brighter and warmer and bigger. And then feel it beginning to cascade down your head, your face, your neck, relaxing all the muscles, helping to relieve tension as it continues to cascade down over the shoulders, chest, back, arms, and hands. Feel that warm light, that peace rolling down over the belly, the legs. All the way down into the feet and toes. Until your whole body is just cocooned in this beautiful, peaceful, healing energy. And just feel that energy as being with you as you move through the rest of this evening. And then start to deepen your breath. And draw some movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And then eventually roll to one side towards just onto your side there. And then gently bring yourself all the way back up to seated. And take your hands into prayer in front of the heart. And just gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice, and this earth. And thank you all so much for coming and practicing together this evening. That's it for this week.